Oh, there's another Fear Reaper. And like Feet, good to see you. Hope you guys are doing well. Month end is always fun at work. Yeah, I mean, I've just had like really bad time management lately. I mean to stream a lot more than I do. It's just the like for me to actually have time to do stuff that I wanted to do. So my video gaming, social media, like YouTubing, Twitching is not self-sufficient. So like I can't just do it full time. Otherwise I would totally, but like I actually have to do other stuff in order to make sure that I like until I can transition. You would think too, like, bro, I've got 10 books on Amazon, right? You say, oh, hey, like, I'm a super fan of yours, bro. I bought all 10 of your books. I mean, I would love you if you did that. However, it's something to keep in mind, like, the way that publishing goes, like, if you bought my original book, I get 10% of the sale. So I think the book sells for 10 bucks. I get a buck. So, like, I need to sell a lot of books in order to make a living as a writer. So even with 10, it's you know, it's like I don't see a lot of money from the books. The music that I put out, like I have music on Spotify, but the way Spotify pays out, it's even worse than writing like for every stream that you get. And like because nobody knows who I am, I might, let's say I get like 50 or 100 people who listen to my music. Well, that's great. I think I just made a penny. And so then they have like payout minimums. So like they won't send you a check unless you hit like 100 bucks. So I think making like a penny, I think I probably won't get paid out by Spotify for like 65 years or something like that. It's ridiculously low. It's the reason why like Katy Perry is an astronaut now, right? It's like actual music streaming doesn't really pay. That's why they do tours and, you know, all that other stuff. Sell merch. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got to get like more merch. But I'm working on another thing. I'm working on like actively working on a new book, and it's probably what I would call like my magnum opus. It's like the whole reason why I started writing in the first place, and it's it's probably going to be like 6 or 7 books when it's done. I'm working on like the first one now, but because it takes place in a secondary world that I kind of hallucinated, if you think of like similar to like George Lucas's secondary world or the Wizarding World that Rowling cooked up for Harry Potter or the Matrix, any of these secondary worlds, right? They require a lot of like backstory in order to understand like what's going on. So like a lot of the writing I've been doing the last few years has been specifically for the secondary world, and it's stuff that will never probably actually be published or read by anybody. It's just stuff that I need to understand that's going on. So like it's just a lot of time. Like I legit need to clone myself. I love doing it though. Like I'm not complaining about it. I think it's great, but it is sort of like art made in like a vacuum. Like there's a lot of stuff that I've written that nobody's ever seen and nobody might ever see, you know, like it's just very strange, and it's years worth of work. So a lot of the stuff that I have on Amazon right now, if you were to read it, you know, especially like my sci-fi stuff, that sci-fi stuff takes place in a secondary world as well, which is different than the one that I'm working on now. So like, I just do a lot of writing, but that's sort of beside the point. The content creation aspect of like being available and then also working, you know, like it just takes a lot of time. So it's one of the reasons I wasn't available. Alright, I see a Reaper. It's a Plague Reaper. Where's the Plague Reaper? There he is. Alright, he's dead. Alright, gonna get that Wisp. And we'll use our Epic Strike on some of these zombies. There's an AoE. Alright, and so now we can focus down the main here. I don't know if any of you guys play Diablo 4, but we're gonna try it to do this season. I don't spend a lot of time doing each season, maybe like a week. And then DDO, like I plan to pace myself for it. I've been kind of going slow, and really I'm just waiting to see what they say about the moves, because I think the move for the 64, once everybody can get onto the same server, that'll be like super cool, and then I'll plan on spending a lot more time. Like once I can consolidate my stuff, I have been doing that off stream in Lotro. Like we just did that in Lotro, so I got all of my stuff moved over there. I talked a little about it. It was sort of touch and go for a month. Took a little while for them to like communicate what was happening, but eventually we got it back. I'm hoping once we're all on like the same server, depending on how they actually do it, whether it's 1 or 2 North America 64-bit servers, then, you know, I'll be able to like settle in with my main and all my stuff and like kind of finally like start deleting things. I know I have like 20 copies of certain things, like I just really want to get rid of a lot of the bloat that I have. And any of you guys who played for a few years know exactly what I'm talking about. Like this game, you can just get like overly bloated, especially if you start to make like bot armies of bank tunes and you have stuff spread out all over the place. It becomes super difficult to kind of figure out what you have unless you keep a spreadsheet. So, like, I'm hoping to sort of get a handle on that finally when they do the move. Could try to go through stuff and consolidate and delete things that I don't need or want anymore and just get rid of a lot of the bank characters. I'm gonna try to move everything across all my accounts onto Cormyr, right? I've also said this before, if you guys are wondering, like, I plan to be on Cormyr. However, that is sort of like, if they announce another 64-bit server and it becomes clear that the entire population of the game is going to play on that other server, I will move from Cormyr to the other server if I have to. Like, I just want to be where the majority of us are, right? Like, I'm not tied to any specific server. It just so happened that Cormyr was the first one, but I don't really care about that specifically. It seems like SSG does, because they're making it the, you know, the designated server for new players, and they're giving gold rolls for the next 2 months on it. So, like, they're encouraging people to log in and play over there. So it seems like that's what they're going to push to be like the server for the 64-bit server for everybody to play on, but we'll see. I think they said the ceiling on the 64-bit server is around like 3,000 or 3,300 players, something like that. So based on the population that we have in the game right now, I think that that could handle all of North America on one server, especially if they break it out and have a European server as well, right? Because having a European server is going to take players away from the North America server. So, like, the populations will go down a little bit anyway. That dude closed the door on me. He could have opened the door. He could have been nice and opened the door, right? Yeah, we don't need to worry about the fear. We don't need to worry about the acid. We don't really need to worry about the lightning bolts either. We should be almost immune to all of it. I was thinking that for monks, they need to add, like, walking on water. I think that would be really cool. That was something from WoW that my Death Knight could do, and I thought it was super cool. And I think it makes sense, like, thematically for a monk to be able to do it, right? I mean, they're martial artists. They can break boards and all sorts of things. I think it would be, like, right on the money if they could just run across the surface of water, and that would be super cool in the game if we could do that. Okay, gotta get that champion. There we go. This room is super hard to see what's going on because of all the junk around the edges. Ow. I've been playing Expedition 33, and I highly recommend it. That's another thing that's been pulling at my time. I haven't streamed it. A lot of people are streaming it. What a phenomenal game that is. Like, it's definitely going to be Game of the Year. Absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind that that's going to win Game of the Year. It is basically like a Baldur's Gate 3 style experience. It's not as good as Baldur's Gate 3, but it's up there. It's very close to being one of the best games in the last 10 years. Like, it's super cool. Very unique. The story is really well done. The writing is phenomenal. The acting is good. Like, everything is great. The music is really cool. It's got a really good narrative arc. And it's interesting, you know, like, I'm going through it actually feeling like I'm doing something unique. I don't feel like I'm in a game so much as I'm experiencing a story. Like, it's really cool. It's cinematic. So, highly recommend it. Oh, she's got me dotted. That's what's... Bro. Damn, acid dot was doing so much damage to me. Alright, we want to stay away from her for a little bit so she doesn't dot me again. Burn down some of these. Oh, no, there she is. Ah, she hit me with it. So can I out-heal this bullshit? Probably not. It's just so much damage. It's not like I have 0 resist either. I've got 21 resist. Oh, it looks like they're fighting that ranger guy. Okay, that's cool. She's out, right? She's out, yeah. We did it. I'm so used to playing on a warlock for like R4s. I'm not used to doing it on a monk. So I haven't played a monk in years and years. I think it's probably like 2011, the last time I played a monk seriously. Maybe 2010. Be able to put on some decent gear in a couple levels. Most of the stuff I'm using is just generic level 20 stuff that I had. And my throwing star is the snow star, which I think that's level 8, right? I think we get that from Call to the Six, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably gonna go back to Warlock though after this. Like, I like this, I like Monk, but Warlock is my favorite, so. A lot more survivable me playing on a Warlock too, like, especially if I start doing, once Cormyr is all set up and everybody's there, like, I'd like to learn a couple of the new raids. I just haven't done them yet, so I think it'd probably be like better to do it on that character. Although this character will be pretty good once I get it to cap. Probably gonna make another video soon about whatever they're changing with the loot. I read something on the Lamagna forum, so we'll probably cover that either tomorrow or Friday, depending. Is there a hole in the ground that opens? Oh, I guess I missed it. Okay. Alright, I gotta try to get this dude without actually getting hit by one of his spells. Okay, he's dead. Good. Alright, Reaper's dead. Okay, Crazy Bear is dead. And that dude's dead. Excellent. Yeah, what do you guys think? You excited about moving your accounts to 64 or hesitant? Are you gonna wait? Do you plan to like move a bunch of different servers all to the 64 or are you just gonna do one? Right, because you could do that if they're having like free transfers, right? You could go to every server that you have a character on and move them all to one server. So I think that's really cool because over the years, like I've played on every different server, I have stuff all over the place. So it'd be nice to like consolidate it all down, get it all where I can actually play with it. You know, one of the servers, like on Sarlona, my crafter is level 400. I think I have a crafter that's close to that on Thelanis that I put there from hardcore. But we'll see, you know. And the other thing too is like, depending on what happens with the population, will everybody go to that server or will there be, you know, like multiple destinations? You know, what if like the EU server became like the new super popular server? Could happen, right? The reason I'm saying that too is because that's exactly what they saw in Lord of the Rings. Like, they set up 4 servers. They thought that they would be popular amongst a whole wide variety of people, and it turns out that everybody, the majority of players, went to one of the 4 servers. So I think that what they learned is that, you know, their intended distribution of players isn't necessarily what the players are actually going to do. So we have no idea yet what's going to happen with DDO until we actually do it, right? We won't know where people decide to go. I've seen people posting on the forums, though, although it's not a lot of people, it's just a small number of people, but they want like a completely new server to start. But I mean, I don't think that's practical, just because like there's a lot of people, because of the Lanterns in the Mist event, who decided to go and start playing on it to do the Lanterns, and like spent a lot of time and resources and probably money, even if they weren't a VIP, you know, they might have had to purchase unlocks on Cormier, right? So like it represents an investment, and I think that that's something that should be honored for the people who did do the investment. I don't think that they should just like open up a brand new server and make everybody start there again. Now, the argument on the side of doing that is like the naming thing, but what they could do, what they have done in Lord of the Rings was, you know, they could add, although it wouldn't really make sense because Cormier's already open, like you can go there and try to get your names, and if you miss them, you know, I mean, it's hard for me to believe there, because think about the account that has 50 characters. Like, how are you going to secure 50 names? You'd have to remake 50 characters. No, it's probably easier to just try to move them. And then if you move them and they get the /1 after it, just rename them to something else. I mean, obviously, if it's your main, you don't want to deal with that. But for just a random bank tune, this is what I'm saying. Like, I want to delete most of my tunes. I don't even want to worry about keeping them, because a lot of them, I don't even like the names. They're just placeholders to hold stuff that I had nowhere to put it, right? Like, somebody's telling me about the free code, which we got. I got the free code. I used it. Oh, I fell into the trap. I haven't done that in years. We'll be fine because we have evasion, but normally I jump this thing. So Voodoo got a code. You know why I like that because it's like a precedent, right? It's like says to me that, okay, that he's a streamer and a YouTuber and he just got a code in the video game. Does that mean that now the potential in the future is that other streamers could get codes? Is there a possible Mary code that's going to come in the future at some point based on something happening? the fact that that could be a yes, I think that's a massive W for the game, because I've been saying this for a long time. Any of you guys who've been watching me know, like, I'm the one who came up with the idea for streamer-inspired sentient gems. Like, I want the community of people playing the game to be more involved, not less involved. I was the one who had the idea for the Twitch drop outfit, like, because I think that it would be nice to encourage players to come to Twitch and watch more content, right? Like, the pandemic was like a fluke. You know, everybody was stuck indoors. How can we make that happen all the time? Right, that's the point. Like, how can we get our population for the game and the interest in the game up across, like, every month of the year, not just for some fluke event? Like, that's sort of what I like to think about. So I think it would be super cool. And there are examples of games that do that, and they do that really well. Like Path of Exile, I'm pretty sure they have close to 500,000 people logging in and playing that game every day. I'm not sure what the actual number is, but like on Twitch, that holds up. Like, there are a lot of people between YouTube and Twitch watching and talking about and thinking about Path of Exile. So like, DDO is equally as fun, complex game as Path of Exile. I think our population should be way, way higher. So from my perspective, it's a W to have like to get back to the original point, having Voodoo like called out specifically for a code that encourages people. Like, the conversation around his code is it came from Twitch. That's awesome. That's really good, because that's going to start people thinking about, oh, when I play the game, maybe I should go check out Twitch. Like, I think that's good for the game. It's good for the ecosystem of the game. I think it's really cool. All right, we're gonna try this one on R4. This last fight can be a pain, but we should be all right. I'm still in love with that, the last patron coffer that we got, the outfit from that. You guys can see I'm still wearing it. Like, I think it's great. Reminds me of my Star Wars The Old Republic outfit. I think it looks a little bit like Revan, if you guys played SWTOR. Obviously not the mask. Like, the Revan outfit mask was probably the most iconic of his set, but he had a cloak that was similar, and the armor was somewhat a little bit like it. This has a little bit more of that Emperor Palpatine purple in it, but it's still really cool. Alright, I'm gonna get back some key. That is a good idea, Trog, about doing the Indiegogo crowdfunding self-fulfill for comics. Yeah, I don't write comics, but I do think it's a good idea. I could write comics. I'm just not good at drawing. But I could collab and like actually, you know, like author a comic. I just would need an artist to draw it. These little dryads keep dotting me. Oh, I haven't played the new patch, the Baldur's Gate patch 8 yet. I tried to install it and it kept crashing my computer. So I'm gonna try again. So I haven't tried any of like the subclass changes that they did. I'm kind of hoping somebody does an Expedition 33 mod that allows me to make the characters in that game look like the Baldur's Gate 3 characters. I think that'd be super cool. Like, I can't wait for that, for mods to start making content for Expedition 33. I think it's going to get just as crazy as Baldur's Gate 3 did with all those crazy mods that they had. So I'm excited about that. It's a lot of potential there. So far, Schedule 1 and Expedition 33, like, really, really solid. And the year is just starting, right? Like, it's, what, May? So, the 5th month, and we've already had 2 super strong games. See what else is coming out later this year, but I don't think that either of those is going to be beat. And that's just, like, there's a lot of other really cool games that have come out, too, so... What I hope happens, I hope like the modders for Baldur's Gate use the engine and then they start remaking some of those old games like the Pool of Radiance and the Curse of the Azure Bonds. I think that'd be really, really cool. Spider was way too big. All right, I need to refresh that. All right, we're ready. I've got 80. Let's do some more. That way I can throw it on a target dummy. All right, 140, that's good. Really would like that staff. Did they let me just instantly melt this dude, or is he gated? I think he's got like a timer on him. All right, I'm gonna have to drop that. I'm getting hit by a Fear Reaper, right? That's what's killing me? Yeah. Okay, Fear Reaper's dead. How many of these dryads are there, man? They're the ones who put the dot on me that's gonna kill me. Everything else doesn't matter. Okay. Can I mark him? Yes. Got him. I gotta remark him. Alright, if he goes, does he delete everything else or no? We'll see. I'm not sure. Alright, I've got to get rid of that druid. I'm afraid of the druids because they'll dot me up and then I probably won't be able to out-heal it. Even though the bear keeps hitting me for a few hundred, at least it's not a dot, right? Like... Okay. Got him. Sorry, dude. We did it. We did it. It was a little messier than I would like, but we still did it. Here, I'm gonna take... I keep hoping that they redo these commendation rewards, so... We will take the War Wizard, because I usually play a caster, on the hopes that someday they update those.
Adventure calls far and wide, monsters and dragons, lost piles of gold. Where are they in long lost cities and sunken ruins? If can find treasure, I will try. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons. I will stay with my party until I die. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons. I forget how to live in the real world. I forget how to live without rolling the die. And my dice have 20 sides, and I heard there's a dungeon nearby. Let's go find a dragon and make it fly. If can find treasure, I will try. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons. I will